The neighborhood development hearing is called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Moore. Alderman Villa.
Here.
Alderman Arnowitz.
Here.
Alderwoman Ingracia.
Present.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Murphy.
Here.
Alderwoman Spencer. Chairman Boyd.
Present.
5 present. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The first board bill we'll hear this morning is Board Bill 227, sponsored by Alderman Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Board Bill 227 is a blighting and tax abatement bill for 4251 through 59 Lindell. That is there at Lindell and Boyle on the north side of the street, actually the northeastern corner of Lindell and Boyle. For many years, this was a laundromat there and a gas station and a convenience store. Now it's going to be developed into continuing the gas station, but there will also be convenience stores and other retail locations, as well as the office facility of the corporation that owns the property. They will be bringing 15 jobs into the area. It's about $3.5 million worth of construction costs. There will also be a car wash, which is about 1,900 square feet, and it will employ a total of about 15 full-time employees and 4 part-time employees. It is a significant development there at that corner and would greatly improve that area. I do ask for your favorable support. You should have a copy of the drawing of the elevations of what it should look like, which is the building that is presently there is quite old and has its challenges.
Say that again.
I said the building that is there now is quite old and has its challenges.
Okay, Alderman Villa, you have any questions?
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Alderman Arnowitz,
No questions at this time.
Alderwoman Ingracia,
No questions.
Alderwoman Murphy.
Thank you.
Will the new building sit back on the alley?
Directly onto the alley, I believe it's some spacing behind it as the present building is.
Okay, is it, 'cause I know what building it is.
It
so
does set back like the other building does.
This building's gonna be a larger building. They're actually tearing it down and
Yeah,
rebuilding?
they tear the old building down and build this completely new construction. It will sit back like the old building does.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 227 out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Moore. Alderman Villa.
Aye.
Alderman Arnowitz.
Aye.
Alderwoman Ingracia.
Aye.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Murphy. Alderwoman Spencer. Chairman Boyd.
Aye.
5 aye votes do pass.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. No, this is 228. Okay. Board Bill 228 sponsored by Alderman Kennedy.
Thank you. Do we also have pictures of those? Board Bill 28 is another blighting and tax abatement, 10-year tax abatement for 625 North Euclid. Those who know the area is simply called the 625 North Euclid building. Many years ago, it was, they held the offices related to the state government, and later was acquired by Union Sarah Economic Development Corporation and was developed into an office building, including the office for the Union Sarah Economic Development Corporation. Then later was sold in a tax sale and was acquired by another developer who also continued it as an office facility. Now it has been sold, and we have a completely new vision for that particular location, 625 North Euclid. That's there at Delmar in Euclid. That would be the southwest corner, pretty large building. Their plan is to develop it into a mixed-use building, having apartments above and retail spaces below. There'll be a total of, I believe, 87 rental units, 39 one-bedroom units, and 43 two-bedroom units, and 5 studio apartments. There will also be parking below it, at about 86,000 square feet of retail space. We're asking for 10-year tax abatement for this particular property. It's an investment of about, the construction budget is $16 million. That is that 4 or 5-story building there at that southwest corner of Euclid and Delmar. It is be a significant change for that location and a great improvement from what we're presently seeing. So we do ask for your favorable support. The owner of the property is here also. Is there any?
Would that be
quick
David Dewey?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Dewey, would you like to speak? Your name is on the sign-in.
I could answer any questions that you might have, but I probably a couple boards, but rendering of what the property looks like. If you're not familiar with the location, this is what the building looks like. This is a rendering, and we think it's going to make a big dramatic impact on that corner. We'll light up the building, and we'll have a sign identifying it as a residential building. As the Alderman said, 87 units are going to be in it, 8,600 square feet of retail on the first floor. We'll also have a management and leasing office on the first floor. Right now, we have one tenant that has remained in the building, and that's the medicine shop. So there's a pharmacy there, providing services for the neighborhood. We're hoping to have people start moving in summer of 2016.
Okay, if you don't mind, you can stay there for me, Mr. Dewey. Let's see if committee members have any questions. Alderman Villa,
No questions, Mr. Chairman.
Alderman Arnowitz,
No question.
Alderwoman Ingracia.
Do you have you talked to people about the commercial space yet? Or do you have a type of business you're looking to move in there?
We're out leasing and talking with potential retail customers. We think that there could be small boutiques, restaurants, that kind of thing. But we have not signed any leases at this point.
That's great. It looks like a really exciting project. Congrats.
Alderwoman Murphy.
No questions, looks good.
Okay, thank
Okay, out of curiosity, what's your current occupancy on the building?
you. Well, I shouldn't say zero. We've got one tenant.
One tenant.
About 1,200, 1,300 square feet. It's the pharmacy. They happen to be an existing tenant, and their location happened to be in the far corner of the building. It was like the one tenant could work around, and so we cut a deal to have them stay, and we think it's a good use for the building.
Have you started renovations yet?
We have just started demolition.
Okay. Will these be market rate apartments?
Yes, they will.
And I noticed on your rendering, can you hold it up again for me?
Yep.
Is that a banner on the corner, or is that a sign?
That's a sign. It's going to project 45 degrees out from the corner. We're hoping to be able to catch traffic from on Delmar and Euclid. And we, as I said to the Alderman, we don't have a big ego that we thought we had to have a sign, to toot our horn. We thought it would just light up and give some vibrancy to that corner that is sorely lacking at this point in time. That's not the actual sign. We've now designed it, and it's been approved by the National Park Service, who does the historic approvals. And it's a very tasteful sign, and the name of our building is going to be Lost at Euclid, so it's just going to say Lost at Euclid, light up at night.
And has zoning also approved it, the local zoning?
Through the zoning and signage committees here, because I wanted to first get the National Park Service's approval before I move forward.
Okay. I have no further questions. I'll entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 228 out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing no objection, Board Bill 228 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next board bill we will hear is from Alderman Vollmer, Board Bill 222.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Let me get your informational packages out. Thank you, Donna. Board Bill 222, 4339 Junietta. If you're familiar with this, this is off of Margaret Ford before you get to the Alfred area. As you look at your little map, Vacant, boarded up, a mess, no fun. We have much going on Margarenford, and hopefully this has spurned some developers, such as the Summers, to renovate this home, put it up for sale. So it's going to be, from a piece of junk, a lovely 2-bedroom home with 2 bathrooms, 1,250 square feet. And we're requesting 10-year tax abatement. If you look at it, it's been boarded up for quite some time. It's been an eyesore and a problem for the neighborhood. And we're hoping this will help other people. I have a few others in the area that we'll be talking about. They're doing the same thing. Any questions?
Let me ask you, any questions from the members of the committee? Raise your hand. Okay, is this being rehabbed by the owner of the property?
No, it's a the Summers have purchased the property. They're going to redevelop and put it up for sale.
Okay.
Yes.
And you have a projected sale price of it?
125.
It's not bad.
If you're welcome to move into my ward if you like it, sir.
Yeah, I'll consider that. Okay, I'll entertain a motion, Board Bill 222 be passed out of committee with a due pass recommendation. It's been moved in second. Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 222 passes out of committee with due pass recommendation. Next board bill is Board Bill 223, sponsored by Alderman Vollmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We are back in the same neighborhood a few blocks away, 4418 and 4420 Connecticut. A mixed-use property that, again, has been boarded up and vacant. Well, that's for the last 12 and a half years I've been the alderman of the 10th Ward. There's been no activity in this property whatsoever. In the old days, back in the 70s, it was one of those things where they had the confectionery and store and the owners lived upstairs, but it has since been boarded up for some time. They're putting a bit of money into it. They purchased it because it was such a piece of junk for $50,000. They have a construction budget of $275,000, and they'll be turning into 2 townhomes, asking $189,000 per unit for sale. Each one will be 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 1,600 square foot, with a wonderful roof deck to take in the evening views. We're asking 10-year tax abatement.
Any questions from members of the committee? Okay, my question is, in the commercial space, so that's going to now
Yes, there'll
be
be
transformed to residential?
That's correct, 2 townhomes directly.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 223 out of committee with due pass recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 223 comes out of committee with due pass recommendation. Next board bill is Board Bill 224, sponsored by Alderman Vollmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're now heading over to the Southwest Garden neighborhood. This is 2733 January. It's on the other side of Southwest, back behind Sublet Park. A vacant lot, vacant for quite some time, doing nothing for anyone or for the city. The Vorst family are going to be building a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 3,000 square foot home there at a construction budget of $330,000. This will be their home. It'll be a very nice addition to the area and make use of a lot that's been doing nothing for the city of St. Louis for quite some time.
Any questions from members of the committee? Okay, I'm looking at the rendering, and I'm looking at the house next door. From the rendering, it looks like you just walk straight in from the sidewalk. Is that right?
You're talking about on January itself? The setback, I'm not sure, but it'll have to be set back. It won't be right on the street.
No. I mean, as far as the elevation from the
Yeah.
porch next door,
Sure.
it has about
Yeah, there's no hill there.
4 steps.
Mhm. Yeah, it's most of the houses right there are. If you're familiar with that hunk of January, from there, it tails down to Columbia Avenue. As the street goes down, then the hills start rising up at that part.
Oh, okay.
Come by, I'll walk you through it sometime.
Does that come with lunch?
Just certainly.
Okay.
Dutch Street.
Hearing no other questions about Board Bill 222, I'll entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 224 out of committee with a due pass recommendation. It's been moved and seconded. No objection to previous roll. Board Bill 224 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Thank you for your time and your efficient manner.
Okay, next board bill up is Board Bill 180, sponsored by Alderman Coatar. I think I saw him come in. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Board Bill 180, let me pass out my pictures here. There's a property, a vacant property at 2268 South Jefferson in the McKinley Heights neighborhood, beyond the east side of Jefferson, just north of Shenandoah. This property was vacant, in very rough shape. They've already made substantial progress on the renovations. It's going to be a single family home selling for an anticipated sales price of about $200,000. So I'm asking for 10 years tax abatement on this project.
Any questions from the committee? Who's the developer?
It's an individual named Stephanie Botkin, and
And
she's planning on selling the property.
okay.
What is she putting into it?
About
Cost-wise?
$135,000. It was in really rough shape, yeah.
That's pretty reasonable, 135,000. Alderman Arnowitz.
The one I'm looking, I'm sorry, I was getting caught. Is this the ones on Jefferson?
Yes,
What's the closest cross street there?
Shenandoah.
Oh,
Just
okay.
north of Shenandoah. Yeah, so you know where Keepers, the bar is there on the
Yes.
corner? Just north of that.
Okay.
Any further questions from the committee? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to pass 180 out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved, seconded. Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 180 comes out of committee with due pass recommendation. Next board bill is Board Bill 181, sponsored by Alderman Coatar.
Got some pictures of this as well. Board Bill 181 is another McKinley Heights residence, 2242 Shenandoah Avenue, just down the street from this other property. This is actually being renovated into a two-family residence, market-rate apartments. The developer is Henry Powers. Alderwoman Ingracia, you may know the Powerses from a famous restaurant in your ward, known as Little Eats. So Henry's working on this project. Total construction cost is about $140,000, and he's looking at an average monthly rent of around $550.
Alderwoman Ingracia.
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. I prefer to keep the powers on my side of Jefferson, so I'm going to definitely be having a conversation
They're
with
coming
Henry
over to
on
the other
this.
side.
Is this directly across from where Henry lives?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is probably the most problematic block of McKinley Heights, and there's a couple of developments all happening at once there, which is great to see.
Any other questions or comments from members of the committee? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 181 out of committee with due pass recommendation.
So moved.
It's been moved.
Second.
Second.
Previous roll.
Hearing no objection of previous roll, Board Bill 181 comes out of committee with due pass recommendation. Next board bill is Board Bill
Thank you for your time.
187. Wait a minute. No, it's not. I guess thought Alderman Coatar had another bill, so Board Bill. Okay, we'll do Board Bill 188, sponsored by Alderwoman Murphy.
She is here.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you, Chairman and members of the board, members of the committee. I am asking for, oh, here's my drawings. Sorry. I am asking for a 10-year abatement for a property at 4309 Gertrude. Previously, it was a vacant lot. I believe it always was a vacant lot as far as I can remember back. It's in the Beeville Mill area, but it's in my ward. It's on the corner of Gertrude and Marganford. And as I said before, it was a vacant lot. It was purchased by Habitat for Humanity. And it's a new construction, single-family home. It is completed, already. If you follow Channel 4 at all, they made a big deal out of it the last 10 days, home for the holidays, and they featured the home. This was the home they featured. They didn't really build it in 10 days, just the structure. The foundation was already laid and whatnot. Anyway, they purchased it from the LCRA for $8,000. The total construction cost $135,000, but of course it was Habitat, so it was volunteer and donated labor, fixtures, you name it. And it's about 10 companies took part in the thing. Our part is the tax abatement. I'm asking for 10 years. There is a homeowner, the keys were turned over the 13th on Friday. So I'm looking at it that we went from nothing to eventual, tax. It's a mother and 2 sons, one in high school and one in college, and of course we'll be paying city earnings, hopefully soon. And it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. Very nice, fits in if you see from the elevation. It's a frame home, which is kind of mixed over there in Gertrude. There's frame and brick over there. So it fits in. It's got a nice yard. And so I'm asking for your consideration for a 10-year tax abatement.
You just want us to consider it?
Yes, I want you to consider it positively.
Okay, you want us to pass
This
it?
is right in my notes.
Okay, any questions from members of the committee? I was gonna say, we could easily consider it.
Thank you.
All right, how about, I'll entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 188 out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
So moved.
It's
Second,
been moved and seconded.
previous read.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 188 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Thank you,
Next
Chair.
board bill is Board Bill 189, sponsored by Alderman Billa.
Donna, thank you. Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Board Bill 189 requests 10-year tax abatement for a property at 6329 on Minnesota. Mr. Chairman, those that are familiar with the neighborhood, and I'm certainly not, as we throw these around in different wards, but it's right on the corner of Minnesota and Holly Hills. Right across the street from St. Mary and Joseph Church, catty corner from the Sisters of St. Joseph of Cronlet Convent. The block that this particular house sits on the corner, the Cronlet Community Betterment Federation has previously redone the 2 houses immediately to the north of that, so and is currently redoing a 4th house on that block. So we're trying to, as we all know, when you can save the teeth in what is a good strong block with a nice view, you try to do it. And that's this particular corner house is going to be owner occupied. A young lawyer came to me a long time ago asking for the abatement on this particular property. It was a 2-family flat that was in disrepair, and he turned it into a single family and has spent a fair amount of money on it. The figure here says he spent $150,000. To the naked eye, that would be low. They really put a full court press on the property to attempt to clean it up. So. I would be happy to try to answer any questions if we have them.
Any questions from members of the committee or comments?
Alderman, you said it's going to be a single-family home?
Yes.
Wow, very good.
Out of curiosity, that's a huge-looking building. How many bedrooms and?
It's 2,300 square feet, Mr. Chairman, 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths.
Must be a huge dining room, kitchen area.
I don't know, maybe narrow. I don't know how I do know what the picture looks like, but they're not Well, 2,300 square feet's 2,300 square feet.
Any other questions or comments, members of the committee? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 189 out of committee with a due pass recommendation. So moved. It's been moved. Seconded. Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 189 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Thank you.
Next board bill we will hear is Board Bill 187, sponsored by Alderman Conway. He asked me if I would bring his bill forward, so we have,
Hello, good morning. Zach Wilson with SLDC.
thank you, Zach.
Board Bill 187, 4020 Russell in the Shaw neighborhood. Developers Caleb Arend, renovation of an unoccupied single family. He bought it for $200,000. He's investing $125,000. He's hoping to get $325,000 for this. It's a single family, 1,620 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2 off-street parking spots. Alderman Conway supports 10 years of tax abatement.
Any questions from members of the committee? Zach, tell me those costs again.
It's $200,000 acquisition cost. It was a developer who kind of went belly up. He was the money man for the project before, so he's taken it over, but the title was transferred over to him, so it looks like a $200,000 purchase. So that's why we had to put it down like that.
And it was 130, you said?
Renovation cost.
So that's 330.
125, sorry.
125, so that's 325. And how much they're looking to sell it for?
He's trying to break even, $325,000, so.
Oh, okay. Well, it kind of makes sense. He kind of had some problems with things. I was thinking the math doesn't really work for a developer on that one.
I don't know how likely he'll get $325,000 for the house, but that's what he's going for, so.
Okay. Any questions from members of the committee? Any additional questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, I recommend that we pass Board Bill 187 out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
So moved. Second.
Okay, it's been seconded. No objection to previous roll. Board Bill 187 comes out of committee with due pass recommendation. Next board bill is Board Bill 225, sponsored by Alderman Conway.
Board Bill 225, 3800 Shaw, in the Shaw neighborhood. Developers Kurz Ballard, renovation of a single family. He purchased the property for $85,000, construction budget of $150,000. He's projected sale price of $350,000. 4 bedroom, 3.5 bath, 3,000 square feet, 2-car garage. Alderman Conway supports 10 years of tax abatement.
Like, how many square feet is that again?
3,000.
Oh, that's huge. Any questions from members of the committee? Comments? Hearing none. I'll entertain a motion to pass Board Bill 225 out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Hearing no objection to previous roll. Board Bill 225 comes out of committee with due pass recommendation.
Thank you.
Dale, is that a wrap?
I think so.
We got everything taken care of?
We'll, LCRA meets today, so we'll have a few more ready for you, and then in December, so when you come back after Christmas, we'll schedule another meeting, 2016.
Okay. Well, we will consider the Neighborhood Development Committee for today adjourned. Thank you.